Okay, guys, you already received the instructions to your corner. Remember, respect my commands and present yourself all time. God bless and God bless both of you.
Well, Al, during our opening, we talked about this being another audition for Joshua Pagan, a true prospect at 135. A win over Haskell Rhodes is the type of win that fighters score when they announce that they're just about ready to become a contender.
Yeah, that's what he wants tonight. You know, he guested with me on my YouTube show, on the Salida Promotions YouTube channel, and he said this was going to be very emotional for him. And the scene we just showed with all, and that you alluded to, he said, I want to carry that emotion into the fight in the right way and use it in a positive fashion. And that's what he wants to do right now.
And for Haskell Rhodes, you know, perhaps he's hoping that Pagan could be a little bit emotional here in the early going, because we referenced that Kid Austin fight. Listen, Kid Austin was dominant and terrific in that fight, but Rhodes did succeed in cutting him, throwing him to the canvas, again, making things messy.
And he is that kind of fighter that will make you lose control and get off your game plan. And I think it's important for Pagan not to fight off the emotions of the crowd, because he's the favorite here. He's got a lot of family members here that came from all over the United States, plus he's got family here. So he's got to be able to stick to his game plan, listen to his corner, and, you know, if he does that, you know, hopefully he'll be able to get that high real knockout win or that explosive win that he's looking for.
I saw Rhodes landing a nice overhand right about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, that, you know, Raul put that in the keys to victory. Boy, is that correct. You know, that's his main big offensive weapon. And it helped get him off to a 23-0-1 start in his career. And then when he lost the decision to Sergey Lipinets, who later became a world champion, that kind of pushed him down where the rest of the time it's been a little more rocky for him. And while he's been a great sparring partner for many great champions in the ring, he hasn't had the results he wanted.
Yeah, Rhodes was very honest, very self-aware in fighter meetings, and he admitted that many of his best performances have not been seen by anyone. That they've been in sparring sessions against Liam Paro, against Isak Cruz. You described as kind of a Vegas gym legend of sorts.
You can see when they're in the ring, right? You alluded to it, the big height and somewhat reach advantage.
Nice overhand right there. Excuse me, Al.
Yeah, no, there it is, and that is what he's going to try and do in this fight.
He's fast and explosive. It seems like he beat Pagan there to the punch. That's why he connected. Kind of like a fast pace for Haskell Rhodes, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yes.
You know, we saw in the previous fight a tough beginning for Joshua Pagan. So even if Rhodes is able to do something effectively here, nobody should be misled that Pagan would lose his composure.
So Pagan trying to get that step back uppercut working. But perhaps the most memorable shots of the opening round belonged to the Hackman.
Yep. The overhand right, that one kind of getting a little bit for Rhodes, but there was a better one. There's a nice right hand by Pagan, and Rhodes said, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, they both agreed.
Yes.
With the shots. But it was that fast double jab and that explosive lead by Haskell Rhodes.
So round 2 underway. You mentioned the fact that Rhodes has been in this exact spot in his career that Pagan is in. He was the hot prospect. He was the guy who was right on the cusp of world title contention. but very different upbringings in the sport. Josh Pagan, a multi-time Golden Gloves winner, over 90 amateur fights. Haskell Rhodes, just about 20 amateur fights, was an excellent Greco-Roman wrestler and also a Division I football player at Central Oklahoma.
Yeah, and many of his early fights, I think 19 of his first 20 fights were in Oklahoma. And then after that, fighting elsewhere, especially a lot in Las Vegas as he moved on contractually with people. That Lipinets fight kind of changed things a little bit. Look at this, though.
Look at Rhodes.
Great work.
He's getting dirty and he's getting nasty. He's getting messy. And that's what he needs. With a prospect like Pagan, and to offset him, get him off his game plan.
And landing some good shots, and there's where Pagan told us, of course, he didn't want to be, and that's against those ropes.
Yeah, Pagan needs to go back to the center of the ring, get back to the basics, his jab, control the distance. I don't think he needs to be in that close with Rhodes right now. Well, even though he's being successful, now he's trying to push Rhodes off.
Well, Pagan doing the opposite of what he told us he had to do here tonight, which is to stay tall and stay powerful as he's standing up tall, letting his shots go. But it is working. He's getting some respect here on the inside.
At times it does work, yeah, but I think his fight is more at mid to long range.
And remember him in the Roger Hilly fight, great fight that we had. He was able to bully him in some instances, and he's doing it now with Rhodes.
Pagan fighting fire with fire right now as he lands a nice sweeping right hand, but eats one of his own that he acknowledges from Haskell Rhodes.
Yeah, Haskell Rhodes, he's tough, showing that experience. He caught a couple of right hands by Pagan, but he came back with some of his own powerful right hands.
See Pagan getting down to Rhodes' level as he lets go of that right hand.
Pagan has all the punches, and we're seeing them. He's got a good varied arsenal of offensive weapons.
Pagan really ramping up the pressure here in round 2, turning the tables on the Hackman, who had a very encouraging start, but this is the kind of reply that you want to see from Joshua Pagan.
Fun so far.
Well, we've got a great fight unfolding before our eyes here, and there's another one coming your way next Saturday as Jack Catterall battles two-time world champion Regis Prograis live from Manchester, England.
The work on the inside by Pagan, and he even though he was close, he found the room to land that straight right hand. And you see the uppercut. As I said, a varied attack from Pagan. He has all the punches.
Yeah, I think he was shorter with his shots, and Haskell was a little bit wide, and that's why he was getting caught.
Very good point. You guys both know boxing.
I think we know a little bit, Al.
A little bit, yeah. I've noticed that.
But you are the Hall of Famer.
Well, I don't know what. That and the dime will get you a cup of coffee.
Round 3 underway. A nice bounce back round from Joshua Pagan. Raul, we talked about Pagan insisting that he needs to stay tall in this fight. I think he might have underestimated how low he would actually have to get. Haskell Rhodes is 5'5".
I think so.
Pagan has to dip down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he realized how short Haskell Rhodes is, but yeah, he still needs a little bit of a bend on his knees to maximize the power like he did right now, that 1-2. I think he's starting to get his rhythm. I think that first round he got the kinks out. This is a big fight for him, first 10-rounder, fight here in Puerto Rico. But I think he's getting that rhythm now, controlling the distance at mid, long range. Even at short range, he's jabbing a lot. He's being explosive with his combinations, and he's not getting caught like he was in that first round by those wild Haskell Rhodes overhand rights.
Well, this is a torrid pace that Pagan is cutting here. Again, this is a 10-round fight. There's a fair question of whether or not he could sustain this tempo for 10 rounds. But then again, would he need to if he banks the rounds early and starts to break Rhodes down?
And you know, Rhodes had, oh wow,
Nice
that was a
right
huge
hand
right
there from
hand.
Pagan. And I think we see Rhodes grabbing a hold here.
You know, Rhodes sometimes doesn't have enough volume of his own, and he acknowledged to us that I'm going to have to throw more punches, and he has. But of course, when you do that, you also put yourself in harm's way a little bit more.
That was some good angles, the way Pagan was attacking, the way he was coming at Rhodes, and that doesn't allow Rhodes to be able to hold on to him like he does. When he gives him those laterals, he's attacking from different sides, and it confuses Rhodes. He doesn't know where he's coming from.
It can be difficult at times with Rhodes, as you're seeing here, guys, evaluating when he's grabbing a hold on the inside, when he's wrestling, which of those times are part of his strategy and which are out of necessity. I think that after that chopping right hand earlier in the round, I think he felt that one.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's hard sometimes to differentiate, but that, definitely during that period, it was hurt.
Pagan looking for the uppercut on the inside, finding an angle for that one. As we're inside the final 20 seconds of round 3.
Joshua Pagan is a very dynamic offensive fighter. I mean, really one that's come down the pike and to that extent differentiates himself from a lot of other fighters.
Saturday, Gucci Manny Flores and Victor Olivo top a stacked Golden Boy Promotions card live from Indio, California.
There we see Pagan controlling the distance. Powerful overhand right that rocked Haskell Rhodes, controlling the fight with the jab, touching with the jab. He's there at long range. That was an excellent round there for Pagan.
Back to action here in our main event. Josh Pagan and Haskell Rhodes, Corey Erdman, El Diamante, Raul Marquez, and Al Bernstein on the call for you here tonight. As Haskell Rhodes getting this assignment on just 2 weeks' notice, hoping to score an upset here tonight. Remember, this is a guy, and granted, it was a long time ago, but he very nearly beat Sergey Lipinets back in 2015. Maybe if and he just ate a nice shot there.
I'm telling you, he's setting them up. Pagan is really setting those big right hands with that jab. That was the major key for Pagan, his jab. The first round, he wasn't too busy with the jabs, but after that, it's been all his jabs has been setting up those combinations and those big right hands.
This right hand to the body there from Rhodes. And comes behind it with a left hook downstairs as well, but runs right into a chopping right hand from Josh Pagan.
You know, you felt coming into this fight, you know, Rhodes has had a couple of those losses that were kind of lopsided in recent times, the Schofield and Perez. And you got the impression he said, this one I think I can get. This one I got to be as aggressive as I can. And he has been trying very hard in these early rounds.
Yeah, but he keeps running into those power shots.
Yeah, that's the problem. But
and he's feeling Pagan's strength.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Pagan in the last 2 rounds, couple of rounds, has really controlled things. But you get the feeling Rhodes is not losing his will to try and be offensive.
No, he's still being explosive and fast, and he's trying to attack. He's trying to do what he can.
Which wasn't always the case in a couple of those other fights.
Well, I think Rhodes has always had that amateur wrestlers, that grapplers mentality that even in the late rounds, hey, if I'm still here, eventually I'm going to break you down.
Yeah, you can't sleep on Rhodes for sure. I mean, it's only the 4th round, and like I said, he's still trying. I mean, Pagan cannot sleep on him. He's got to keep that intensity going. Look at those beautiful uppercuts by Pagan now. The jab, the overhand right, and an uppercut, changing it up.
Yeah, those uppercuts from Pagan have been money for him, and that, Raul, is how Pagan has been able to utilize that staying tall. By staying tall, he's giving himself a lane for that uppercut.
Yeah, that sets up everything. Look, there's another uppercut. And the body shots, too. Just, he touches with the jab, tries to land those uppercuts again. Double uppercut with both hands. He's a well-rounded fighter. I like what I see in Pagan. And he keeps his cool, too. He's so composed.
It's round 5 underway. Joshua Pagan's promoter, Dmitry Salita, has described him as a smooth boxer with a mean streak, and I think that his performance here tonight has been very illustrative of that.
Yeah, that's a great description by Dmitry, and absolutely, in this fight, we've seen elements of both of those things. You know, he's fighting at 135, Pagan, and he's been up around 140 and could be at that weight class as well, but he wants to be at 135 for the next couple years for sure, where this height and reach is a real big plus for him.
Saw a nice left hook from Pagan a moment ago. Now really putting these shots together. That chopping right hand landed flush on the chin of Haskell Rhodes.
Yeah, watch those uppercuts again. I think he's hurt now.
Yep.
Another chopping right hand from Pagan as Rhodes taking solace on the ropes, trying to roll with these shots, but it's Josh Pagan who's on a roll right now.
We always talk about placing yourself in a different category by knocking someone out that hasn't been knocked out by other people, and we have not seen Rhodes getting knocked out by some of these prospects, but here he comes back again.
Exactly. Look at Rhodes trying to come back, using his strength all over Pagan. What I like about Pagan, every time Rhodes comes forward and uses his strength and try to wrestle him like I said he would, Pagan doesn't lose control. Corey, he takes his time, he keeps composed.
Well, I mean,
back to the outside and uses his jab.
We go back to how prospects are developed. Would Pagan be reacting as calmly in the face of this if he hadn't gone through the Roger Hilly fight?
Exactly.
I don't know that he would have.
He went through. Yeah, you're right. He went through a lot with the Roger Hilly fight. Look at that. Look at him now, coming back now after Haskell had a good comeback.
A lot of twists and turns in this round.
Rhodes just pinned in his own corner right now. He's swimming through a lot of these shots, but these sequences are looking increasingly worse for the Hackman.
Ripping uppercuts.
Nice lead right hand there from Pagan a moment ago. So many tools.
Body shots, uppercuts, jabs. Complete arsenal of Pagan.
And Rhodes is just leaking blood right now. Looks like that nose has just exploded blood across his face. And the corner of Rhodes is going to have a lot to deal with. What a flurry from Pagan right at the
a major part of his offensive arsenal. And even though Rhodes had a little mini comeback of his own in that round, by the time the round was ended, Pagan was dominating again.
So 2021 U.S. National Amateur Champion Joshua Pagan in full control here. And Raul, the one thing that's jumping off the screen for me with Pagan here tonight is that offensive imagination that he has. There's a lot of variety that he's tapping into in terms of how he's going after Rhodes.
Yeah, he's so calm and cool about it. His face expressions and the bell rings. He's back to his jab. He's keeping the momentum. He's not letting them. He had that big momentum going, and he's back on him again. He's keeping that activity. He's punishing Haskell Rhodes.
See, the corner of Rhodes got the bleeding under control, but Rhodes just ate another flush right hand right down the pipe. And he comes back with a left hook of his own, but Pagan not deterred. Still hunting him down here in round 6.
Yeah, Pagan is just walking up to Rhodes now. He's very confident. He's sitting down on his shots. He smells the knockout. He smells the stoppage.
Well, Josh Pagan has just been a menace, just chasing, haunting Rhodes all over the ring right now.
You know what, but Rhodes, he still comes back here and there. So, I mean, you can't give up on Rhodes because he every time I think he's going down, he comes back with something wild. And you don't want to get caught by a wild shot like that coming in.
No, certainly. I mean, he's taken a lot of punishment.
Yeah.
And Al, I think it is a fair question to ponder for a guy like Rhodes, who has been incredibly durable throughout his career. As career arcs go, when you see guys like Rhodes starting to go the distance but taking punishment, at what point do the stoppage losses start to come? Is tonight the night?
Yeah, you know, and he's been hit with tremendous punches by Joshua Pagan, but the competitive fires that he came in this fight, and as I said, I think he thought, I can get this one. It's keeping him from giving in,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that flame is very clearly still burning.
Oh,
But
low blow.
that is very clearly a low blow.
Hey, he's a veteran. He might have done that to stop that momentum.
Would not be the first veteran to ever do that.
It happens.
Oh, nice right hand over the top there from Rhodes.
I'm telling you, you can't sleep on him there. Look at him. Now he's coming forward. He's strong.
All right, just as we were starting to pen the eulogy of Haskell Rhodes in this fight, he comes right over the top with a signature shot.
See Pagan send him up with the jab. Nice right hand again. Goes to the body. But then Haskell Rhodes, you can't give up on him. Comes back with a big overhand right. And Pagan felt it because he held on to him and he went for another overhand right. He's got a lot of heart. He's in shape.
Haskell Rhodes described his relationship with the sport of boxing to us as a turbulent marriage, so to speak. He finally fell in love with it back in 2012, and he said that that love has not diminished despite the ups and downs.
I love that you asked him that question, and it seems esoteric, but it was wholly appropriate for a fighter like him who has had that roller coaster ride with all the great sparring and great success at the beginning, but then some rocky roads. So yeah, it's an interesting idea.
Well, it's a different chapter in the career of Rhodes as well, who spent a long time under the PBC banner, now essentially out on his own as he eats a nice left hook there from Pagan.
That hurt him.
Solid jab and a left hook.
Look at the angles that Pagan goes for when he's on the inside. That's a nuance that you could easily miss, but it shows what a well-schooled fighter he is.
Well, and those angles, Al, are preventing Rhodes from just wrapping him up on the inside.
Precisely.
The constant movement is keeping Pagan free to punch.
Absolutely. Good left hook by Rhodes on the inside there. You know, from an offensive standpoint, this has been one of Rhodes' better performances in recent fights, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, Rhodes still hustling here in the 7th round. That was a nice shot. Pagan giving ground now. And now it's Rhodes who's getting to do a little bit of offensive work in his own corner.
He's got to keep him there. I think he's being pretty successful when he has Pagan on the ropes. Pagan needs to stay away from the ropes.
A quick combination there from Pagan, and now it's an overhand right from Pagan that reigns in. And a nice little 45, little scoop shot there from Pagan, pops the head back of Haskell Rhodes.
Hey, this has been an entertaining round of boxing on every level. And I think it's safe to say this fight has been entertaining in some surprising ways.
Solid shot by Pagan, and Rhodes takes him.
Yeah, that was a blistering right hand right down the middle. We've talked about the resilience, the punch resistance of Haskell Rhodes, and we're seeing it here tonight.
I'm telling you, he's making Pagan work for his homecoming here in Puerto Rico. He's not making it easy at all. This is great experience for Pagan.
Right hand from Rhodes. Reins in once more. He comes behind it with a second one. And a good sweeping shot, but Pagan gets the last word with a sweeping right hand of his own.
Well, when we look back, as we look at this round, and we think of the great rounds we've had on Big Time Boxing USA this year, this round is one of them. Good overhand right by Rhodes as he kept attacking, and then Pagan right at the end of the round, as you said, Corey, got the last word with that very good right hand.
Round 8 begins, and Haskell Rhodes coming out of his corner looking confident.
You know, Rhodes has been able to land some good, powerful shots on Pagan, and, you know, Pagan's cut hasn't opened up. That's a good thing for Pagan.
Right.
Yeah. Look at Rhodes turning it up.
That was a beautiful double left hook.
I mean, we should have known from the ring walks, based on the complexity of the ring gear of Haskell Rhodes, that he was taking this fight seriously. Yes. You don't put that kit together if you're coming in to lay down.
No, absolutely. You know, Trevor Thompson was supposed to be the man that Pagan was going to face this evening. He had to pull out. I'll tell you what, there was the thought that it wasn't going to be as hard with Rhodes. It's been hard. Even though Pagan is controlling and probably winning most of these rounds. But this round, Haskell Rhodes has had some moments.
Yeah, closing the distance, closing the gap. He's in the inside. That's where his fight is at, more like in the inside. Every time he gets at mid or long range, that's where Pagan gets the best out of him.
Nice counter left hook there from Pagan. But that opening minute 20 or so here in round 8 was probably the best sustained period for Haskell Rhodes here tonight.
Yeah, I agree. Even though we've seen good back and forth, maybe in round 1, but not as good as that. And I think it says a lot about Haskell Rhodes that should come in round 8 of this fight after he's taken some huge punches.
And these are the learning experiences, Raul, for prospects like Pagan, because there have been moments for Haskell Rhodes, but he hasn't let these little landslides turn into avalanches.
He hasn't lost focus. It's the 8th round. He's only been 8 rounds once, I believe, and he's going into unknown territory. And look how composed he is.
This quick little counter there from Pagan a moment ago, snapping the head back of Rhodes. Good pull counter right hand. Around 30 seconds here of round 8, and there again, Pagan with that step back counter.
And Rhodes has been 10 rounds 6 times. He's 2-4. And as Raul pointed out, when we get to the next round, heading into the 10 round, that will be the first time for Pagan.
Yeah.
Closing moments of round 8 as that right hand from Rhodes falls short. 2 to go here in our main event.
And the Rhodes, in that first part of the round, as Corey pointed out, maybe the best sustained action in the fight for him. And look at that power jab by Rhodes as he pushed Pagan back and probably won that round, even though Pagan came back in the round.
Look at Rhodes dancing a little bit before he's comfortable.
Well, he said, you know, Hector Camacho was an influence on him, and we can see it in his garb and in his infectious enthusiasm for this fight.
Josh Pagan, of course, has taken plenty of influence from Puerto Rican legends like Felix Trinidad, Miguel Cotto, some of his favorites, but he's also spent time in the gym with Sugar Shane Mosley as of late, which of course is why Sugar Shane is here in attendance.
Oh, somebody's mouthpiece flew out.
Yeah, that is the mouthpiece of Haskell Rhodes.
Rhodes is getting motivated too by the Puerto Rican crowd.
Well, they're rooting for Pagan, but they have got to respect Haskell Rhodes tonight and enjoy them. And this is, of course, Puerto Rican boxing fans are great, great boxing fans.
See Rhodes looking for an uppercut of his own on the inside there. And Pagan running Rhodes right into a beautiful left hook.
Overhand right again by Rhodes, really putting Pagan to the test in this 9th round.
We can see some of the markings on the face of Joshua Pagan, and listen, that is what happens when you go 9 rounds with a good, solid professional like Haskell Rhodes.
Yeah, a guy that is gonna test you in different ways, and Pagan has definitely been tested in ways. Rhodes caught him with some big shots. Rhodes has tried to make it messy inside. He's trying to push him back. At one point, Pagan might have thought he had Rhodes, but then Rhodes came right back. Those are the kind of tests that are going to get you to the next level. When you get to those big fights, you'll use those tests and adapt and be able to hopefully win a world title, Corey.
It's been a physical test. It's been a mental test, to your point, and also a test of dealing with momentum swings.
Pagan again landing that big straight right hand. And while he had Rhodes hurt earlier in the fight, in the last 4 or 5 rounds, we've not seen that happen.
Nice hand speed there from Pagan.
He's in shape. Both fighters are in great shape.
Yep.
Closing moments here of round 9. And some fancy footwork from Joshua Pagan as we head into round 10.
This is the 10th and final round.
Tenth and final round of our main event. Lightweight prospect Joshua Pagan getting a good solid test here tonight from Haskell Rhodes, who has had his moments, but we would have to think we'll need something colossal here in the 10th and final round if he wants to pull out the upset.
And while he's landed some big punches, doesn't appear to have ever hurt Pagan. Although there was that one overhand right that Pagan reacted to, but it wasn't like he was hurt or stunned.
Boy, credit to Haskell Rhodes, again, taking this fight on 2 weeks' notice, still pushing this kind of pace in the 10th round and landing good shots. Rhodes' corner is telling their fighter he's hurt. That may not be the case, but certainly trying to motivate their fighter who needs something big. But back comes Joshua Pagan.
And Pagan has to be careful now here when he attacks to not walk into something.
I think Pagan really needs to give him angles at that point when he's attacking. It's a lot better when he attacks at angles.
Yeah, which he's done a lot in this fight.
Because Haskell won't be able to find them. He'll be hitting them from the left side, the right side. Those kind of little angles. That's what I'm talking about.
Those types of sequences have been the best moments in this fight for Joshua Pagan. The inside work, the angles.
And he's done that, like you said, Corey, but then at times, Haskell Rhodes goes right back and gets a little bit of his own.
It's been a spirited round 10, that's for sure. And the early advantage for Rhodes has eroded now that he had in this round.
Final 40 seconds of this contest.
That overhand right, that chopping uppercut by Pagan. He's got to keep doing that.
Well, Pagan looks very dangerous when he gets in that kind of flow state. He's very quick.
Consistent,
he's got a good imagination offensively.
He's in control, he's get that rhythm. He's feeling himself, Corey.
Well, Joshua Pagan has certainly cemented himself as one of the best lightweight prospects in the world. And he might not be all that far away from contention, but oh boy.
Look at
Some late shots from Haskell Rhodes, and Pagan is going to need a moment to think Up for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Charlie Ruiz scores it 100 to 90, 100-90. Judge Luis Ruiz scores it 99 to 91, 99-91. And Judge Nelson Vasquez scores it 99 to 91, 99-91. For your winner by unanimous decision, para el ganador por decisión unánime, Joshua Double G Pagan.
So Double J, Joshua Pagan, with the unanimous decision victory over Haskell Rhodes here in our main event. You heard the scores, 100 to 90, 99-91 twice. Bro, that doesn't reflect how competitive this fight was, but we'll talk more on that